In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. Imagine that, a future that's super black. Long as your skin brown, your superpowers intact. What would your powers be? Just hope it ain't super whack. Spatial manipulation, create a portal that's black. Maybe just super speed, time travel to run it back. Or cheat manipulation to keep my spirit intact. As I encounter evils the world face, demons the world makes, I'm needed the world at stake. Rest in peace to Chadwick, they killed all the Black Panthers. Told us white lies, I still marvel at black answers. Suits in DC, pray it lead to a civil war. It ain't no Justice League, what's the need to be civil for? Propelled like the juggernaut, it's clear ain't no stopping this. The world in grave danger, who can stop the apocalypse? They killed all the heroes, the new ones don't really care. But if you need me, put your fist up in the air. Yeah, in the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black. In the sky, it's a bird, it's a plane. Flying high, I emerge through the flames. Have no fear, I'm here, so stand back. Melanin activate, the name is super black.
Hey everybody, we are back. It's Thursday. You know what that means. You get another great episode of Blerd's Eye View with your man, Chris Fury, the man on the wall, Papa Bear of the Blerd world. The man on the wall, the kid up north, whatever you want to know it as long as it's positive, and we're here for the people. Let's get this party rolling. I hope everybody is enjoying themselves this week. It's been a nice day up here in Cleveland, 80 degrees. It could possibly be 40 tomorrow. Who knows? It's very bipolar weather up this way. But thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you for checking us out. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. Be sure to check us out on Always Press Record TV, APR TV. You can catch us on Roku and Amazon Fire now. You can also listen to us wherever you listen to your podcasts, including Opulence Radio, where we lead the charge. Blerd's Eye View leads the charge for Blerd Out Thursdays. And you can listen to Blerd's Eye View, Roomful of Blerds, Blerd Corn Speaks, and a ton of other dope Blerd content podcasts out there. So go check out Opulence Radio. It's completely free. Shout out to Amaron. And not just Thursdays, but every other day. There's some really dope podcasts on there. So check them out. But once again, I want to thank everybody for tuning in and giving us the chance to show you what we're made of. And if it's your first time here, you're going to enjoy yourself. So let's get this thing going. We're bringing it in with Lady Mandalore. What's going on?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How are you this evening? It is officially summertime. Your girl is in the summer dress. Yes.
Uh-oh.
And we have switched from tequila to gin and tonic.
Oh,
it
boy.
is officially summer.
I
don't care what anyone says.
It's live now, baby.
Baby, listen, look, I'm very much the cis heterosexual female. I am very secure in my womanhood. The women out in these streets are doing a lot. Okay, we have been locked up for 3 years. Y'all are gonna be in trouble. Hide your kids, hide your husbands, whatever you need to do. It's a problem out in these streets.
Better not bring your kids.
It's gonna be interesting summer.
Oh, summer! You got that right. Oh man, what's happening, Raw? Yes. Tell it. Preach it from the mountaintops, brother. We also got our resident computer of the ship, Cinematic Assassin. We'll be watching. What's going on?
I feel like I'm about to get on Kira's wave. I'm about to, have a little concoction.
Oh, okay.
No, not the summer dress. Sorry.
Context.
Yikes.
I mean, if you got the legs to pull it off, I'm not gonna stop you.
I got these new knees, girl.
You do. You got the Megan 3000s. I forgot about you.
And as always, just off of that alone, we got to bring in the Black Spartan.
Hey, got him.
We get him every episode, every single time.
I swear, between Kira's Hot Girl Summer and Will's Coochie Daddy season.
It's a kilt.
I was like,
You
just
can do it. I've seen many a dude pull it off.
Puts a bit of breeze on the bits.
I tell you, Lottie, it's not supposed to be wearing shorts. That short, Lottie. Right there between your nicks and your wickers.
When I hear that accent, I always think of. So my wife's an axe murderer, and I just hear Mike Myers. Look how big his head is. Kid had a lot of fro going on, man. He had an Irish fro. I don't know how that works. But he was there and he just goes on a full rant.
It's like, take some shears to his head.
It's illogical how large his head is. You've got to see the bloopers to that. It's just hilarious because no one can keep a straight face because he's going on this thing. I like bloopers from movies from good people, like people who generally will make you laugh. Like, I don't know how Will Ferrell.
They don't get work done.
They don't get no work done.
They gotta like hit him with some kind of a fee for holding up progress or something. They gotta charge
just from Eastbound Down. That whole scene where he's talking to everybody and Craig Robinson's in there, he's doing his best not to laugh. Not
the Teddy Marshall episode.
Oh, the Teddy Marshall episode. It's like, ooh, I can feel it in my plums. He just goes.
It sets my loins on fire. Wait. You know he
going to mark.
Bro.
I'm like,
Greg Robinson had to turn away with that point because I know he
couldn't hold it. He couldn't hold it. Even with Anchorman 2.
All of them?
Oh my God. Look, Paul Rudd couldn't keep a straight face.
Ridiculous.
the
Absolutely ridiculous.
Oh, God.
100%.
Like Michael Scott, Paul Rudd. I call him Michael Scott.
Because you know
I will never remember his actual full name.
Lamp. Brick, are you just looking around the room and naming things that you love? No.
Speaking of Anchorman, which was actually an underground success. How many times did you guys watch it before you realized that Brick was putting mayonnaise in the toaster when they were all introducing themselves, like in the first one, and they were at the pool party? Look, nobody even remembered that.
You know
what?
Yes, when they're introducing themselves, and he's like, "Yes, I'm Brick," and he's literally, you thought he was making a sandwich. Yeah, this dude was putting mayonnaise in a toaster.
Yeah, they did a lot of drugs. There's no way their drugs were not involved.
Right.
I have to go back and watch
capacity of it all.
Look, so we have a special guest with us. She's a local. She's a Clevelander. She's a teacher. She's all about this life. Breshea Anglen is in the building.
Hey.
What's going on, Breshea?
Good evening, my lady.
We are going to be talking about and how people of color fit into Black fantasy and sci-fi. We're going to be talking about that shortly. But Breshea, how you doing?
I am good. I do want to say, Breshea.
Oh, Breshea. I'm sorry.
Yeah. It's okay.
I apologize.
No, it's okay. Most people say Breshea or Breshea or Breshea or even Brianna. So truly,
wow.
One more time for the people.
Breshea.
Breshea. Like shea butter, baby.
There you go.
Hey, I got you.
There it is, right there.
I apologize. I was stuck when you said brush, and I looked at your name like, what in the Wheel of Fortune pronunciation did you get that?
And I'm an English teacher, so I'm sure you understand. I'm sure you know. Yeah.
So we're going to be talking about you being a teacher here in Cleveland. Your books, which are amazing, by the way. We met at Blerd Bash and we had a great conversation. The music didn't like it too much, but
that's fair.
but the fact that we connected and had a good conversation about your book and what it is you're doing, it was amazing. So we'll be talking about that shortly. Right now, we're just kind of jaw jacking and talking about crazy bloopers. That
So that the word that I don't know if that word should be used after a certain
Yeah. Jibber jabber. Jibber jabber is such a yes, please.
We're using jibber.
Yes.
Okay, jibber jabber.
Yes.
We're using jibber.
Too soon. Too soon.
In honor of Raw, I will say pause.
Still too soon. Too soon.
Leave it to Raw. I'm surprised he didn't call it out yet. So we were just talking about like crazy bloopers from movies and how people just can't get the work done. From Anchorman to Wayne's World to So My Wife's an Axe Murderer, and it's just weird that, or in Eastbound and Down, you can't get work done. Like you can't get work. I see what Carl Jones is talking about now.
I still said that. No, go ahead, Kara.
Sorry, he said that he was like he would get mad, but he would still be laughing while he's getting mad. They were not getting any work done. There's no way.
There's just too much happening. There's too many entities in the building. It wasn't working.
Especially in those comedy movies, there's plenty. I mean, still to mind the top 10 is still Life and the Nutty Professor, because Eddie Murphy ripping. You ain't gonna keep a straight face in that.
Don't let me hold you, but and say what they want about him, but Tyler Perry has some pretty good bloopers too when he's ripping on himself, but it makes everybody else laugh because he just keeps changing the lines. This Medea and Joe is just hilarious. It keeps changing the lines and he cuts up. So we're gonna get into some of this Blurred news real quick. So here we go. So, I thought it was me. No, because it's warm out, and now it's like everybody keeps wanting to show up. It's a motorcycle season and ATA.
No, it's me. It's always gonna be me for the rest of the
Breshea,
summer.
My neighbor was on a party the other night playing Thugs and Harmony, and I'm like, y'all, it's 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. What are y'all doing?
Boom, 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 boom,
It's amazing what they do.
It's like 10:30.
Yeah, like man, you got like half an hour at best. Like you got to shut this down.
This is a community disturbance,
right? So, speaking of what Hellspawn says, we're coming for all of them. If you don't know your history about these people, then you're missing out. Who knows about where April O'Neil originally looked like?
Oh,
that laugh tells it right there.
Y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be mad forever.
There's gonna be some people that are gonna be mad.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
So originally, April O'Neil is based off Kevin Eastman's wife, who is of mixed race. So she has curly hair, tan skin. So essentially, she's a black woman. And then it's just been revealed that when their image inducers are on, so are the boys.
I mean, let's be honest. If Teenage Mutant Turtles, how else could we not imagine them in human form? You can literally hear the blackness.
Now, don't it?
You can hear the blackness out of all of them.
Like everything they bicker about in the fight, I'm like, it kind of makes sense now. We ain't talking. We ain't talking surf ninjas. We
No. Oh, stop it!
Wow.
I'm just saying.
Which coincidentally, Ernie Reyes Jr. was in Surf Ninjas and Ninja Turtles.
Yeah,
as the Pizza Boy and as one of them. I think he was Donatello, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
I think so.
Yeah, he was Donatello.
Yeah, so it's that's fun.
The dark side of Twitter was the gnashing of teeth on Twitter. Just
like we can't have anything. It was never yours to begin with. So
we coming for you.
I gotta get that. I gotta get that recorded. That is hilarious. So Black Spartan, you got to switch, right, Black Spartan?
Yep.
So I have a question. No, it's not a bad question. It's not a bad question.
I plead.
Nintendo's already well about them having a second version console coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Is it necessary?
No.
Yes.
If you okay, one for no, one for yes.
What?
Why?
Outdated.
Boy, just get a new console. Just throw the whole thing away and just start. Go get a real one. I love you. I say this with love.
Madam,
I
am a collector. I am a collector.
She said get an adult console.
Then you made him after. Okay, so
many times as I failed the maturity test, you tell me an adult console. I failed the maturity test on a daily basis.
So you have made two poor fiscal decisions that I'm aware of in your life. It's that comic book and it's this console. You could have waited till it went out of date and just bought it for $20.
I still don't regret that comic book.
I bet you can't.
So
you
Breshea, the backstory about the comic book is
painful.
Yes, it's very painful. Now I'm inclined to say, oh, this is a hard to find book and I'll pay for it. Mm-hmm. However,
yes,
I have a limit.
Everyone does.
And Black Spartan here went to a convention and what was it, like $7,000?
It was initially $400 until I said something.
$400.
Yes,
400.00.
Appropriate reaction. Absolutely.
Yeah, that was everyone. Yeah, there. Yep. That's wait. It gets better.
Wait for it.
Oh, it gets so much better.
Are there more dollar bills involved?
Yes.
So much. There's a comma involved at some point. Yes.
I'm not ashamed to say it. Yes. I am not ashamed to say it. We can stop being around the bush.
You should be.
So, I'm not going to be ashamed. I am not ashamed of my decisions. So I will tell our guests. So what happened was the guy did not know what he had. I decided to sit there and say it and then walk off instead of going ahead and taking advantage of it. So when I came back, he apparently did some quick research and said, "Oh, I know what I have," and decided to jack up his price. And I sat there and said, "You know what? I'm doing good in life. I'm good. I'm single. I got no kids. My responsibilities are cool. I want that comic." And I paid for it.
My man hit him with that Drake said, "Money coming, money going. Ain't like you can take it with you."
So understand when it's
got it like that. Go ahead, I guess.
So that's why I said, this is why I say at the time. At the time, I could do it, but now I have people to answer to, so I can't do it this time.
That's not the point, Will. You don't snitch on yourself, fool. Don't snitch on yourself.
I believe in honesty. Total honesty.
I believe in not blocking my own blessings. That's what I believe in.
That is also
hold on.
Look,
also true.
You know what? I'm not. Don't let me hold you. You know, I couldn't do it. I have to be so well off to just say, yeah, that's nothing. I want it. Like Nicolas Cage having 2 copies of Action Comics.
That is true.
I got to be well off. I can't be still in the workforce.
Yeah, I'm too deep in the trenches. I can't even do it.
Yeah, right.
That ain't for me.
But that's why Kira likes to say that I don't agree with that decision. But that was 22-year-old me. 40-year-old me wouldn't do that.
Baby, 16-year-old Kira wouldn't do that shit. Are you out of your goddamn mind?
Kira, that's you.
16-year-old Kira would be waiting for you outside with a bat and take your shit.
I will tell you. I would tell you, my dad, Old Man Fury, would sit up there. I could hear him say, "Boys, you crazy? Is you crazy? Is you crazy?" Yeah.
I would have pinched the hell out of you standing next to you.
$7,000.
Why can I see Kira just waiting outside the con in black Air Force energy, just like
I have on the baklava and everything, man. You didn't see me coming or going. I was quick and small, gone.
said she going for the tendons and the ankles, and then going for the jaw. And it's
Immediately.
It's gonna be so fast. You won't see it.
I'm hitting all load-bearing walls in your body. Everything. With love. I feel sorry after.
At least a shot to the knee, but you trying to put me on work.
I don't want you following me. I don't know how hard I have to hit you. I just gotta make sure you're down. That's it.
That's the whole purpose. That's all.
But that was 16-year-old Kira. I'm very, very, very.
Note to self: have a
reformed
in your pocket.
She's. I wouldn't say.
I give advice instead of take action. That's
you found Black Jesus.
No.
No, not quite.
No, I wouldn't go that far.
You heard of him though.
Heard of him?
I mean, I read about him in a book somewhere. At some point.
You halfway walked under the invitation and turned around. I understand.
Yes, I'm good.
It's like the ribs are still on the grill whenever you're ready.
I'm with the water into wine situation. We cool.
Yeah. Oh my God. So
I'm sorry,
I'm
sorry, Breshea. I'm sorry.
Yes.
So off the success of Guardians Volume 3, obviously, no spoilers, but there has been discussions with Marvel, between James Gunn and Marvel. Which he's very active on Twitter, which I can appreciate because somebody will say some off news and rumor and it doesn't work. And he was like, correction, he's quick to correct it. And so a Twitter user actually asked him, have there been talks about Guardians in the future? And he's simply said, yes, there have been discussions.
All right, now I like Jesus. Me and Jesus, see? Sometimes me and Jesus are cool. We cool sometimes. I asked and I received. It's
he works. He works in mysterious ways. There it is.
The mouse is like,
come bless it.
Door closes, window opens.
You can come back. You can write Guardians 4, 5, and 6. Come on.
Yeah.
You can do both jobs.
It's not conflict of interest at all. Yeah,
I mean, you did it once. Was the Suicide Squad? Why not?
I mean,
what's changed?
You saw what happened. Everybody loved Suicide Squad and Guardians.
We were so good together, weren't we? Like, you could come back.
Sounds like an ex trying to convince you to come back. That's what it sounds like. We was good together, right? You was happy, right?
Everybody was on 10.
Let's try one more time.
Yeah, one more time.
This work.
So so we'll be doing our review not next week, but the week following. We'll be doing a big full review for all three films and our feelings behind it and the bookend and what obviously is a fantastic job.
It's so high.
Jesus Christ.
It is literally hard to listen to the soundtrack. My God. And I don't mean in a bad way. It's just.
No, it's the emotions. It's the emotions.
If you know, you know.
I mean, it's always a soundtrack. The soundtrack to Guardians. It always makes it work.
Yeah. Before we get into it, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We're going to talk to our guest, Breshea, about Noni and the God Tree, and then Noni and a Shattered Truth. How Black people fit into Black fantasy and sci-fi, her purpose behind it, the whole thing, her being a teacher here in the city, everything, people. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
Back to fast money, y'all. We getting ready to finish up the game here. Now your teammate done scored enough points. I think you just need to get one answer right to win. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, name a podcast. Blerd's Eye View. Who should have won that Oscar? Angela Bassett. Who did win the Oscar? Don't give a damn. Name a cartoon. Ed, Edd n Eddy. Name a guest from question 1. Carl Jones. Alright, that did it. Congratulations, you won the game. Hellspawn cosplay. Now, we only need one name. Hieroglyphics. You can stop now. Josh Evans. Chase Bowling. Josh Brown. Y'all cut the commercial. He gonna be on this for a while. Blerd's Eye View. Be sure to peep the podcast on all platforms, or stream every episode on Always Press Record TV. APR TV now downloadable on Amazon and Roku. APR TV, the power of podcasting in the palm of your hand. Get it today.
Running low on energy, long days and even longer nights, tired of all the other energy drinks and bars promise you a lot and never delivering? Need to make it through work, but want a product that can keep up with your busy lifestyle? Want no longer? Try Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. The balls that are so smooth and with a load of nutrients and vitamins to really get you up and bouncing off the walls. Made with all natural ingredients and healthy junk to satisfy even the pickiest eater. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls are sold everywhere where you buy your junk. And now, for those who want that extra kick in the butt, comes Chef's Heavy Duty Chocolate Salty Balls with 120% more caffeine than the leading brand. Disclaimer, this product has not been approved by the FDA or World Health Association. Warning, this product is not intended for consumption by children, elderly people, or women who are pregnant or may become pregnant. You might even get pregnant. Get Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves on digital today. Chris Pine and Michelle Rodriguez star in this hilarious and action-packed adventure where a band of unlikely heroes must undertake an epic heist to retrieve a lost relic. Buy or rent Dungeons and Dragons Honor Among Thieves today on digital today. Rated PG-13 from Paramount Pictures. How can you get this particular... Let's get that out of the way. How can you get this particular thing? Well, we got a code. We got a code that you can check out. And how can you get that code? We have 2 to give away now. 2 codes left. How can you get a code? Well, simply put, name 1 Chris Pine led film. Put that in the comments. And I'll get you off a digital code for this movie, which is actually pretty funny. It's action-packed. And let's just say you won't regret it. So check it out. Name 1 Chris Pine led film where he's the lead. Chris Pine, where he's one of the leads, if not the lead. So put that in the comments in the section, and whoever gets that will get a free code. So like I said, you got 2. So two more questions. So let's get the team back in here.
Right. Surprise!
Libations all around. Breshea is here with us to talk about her fantastic book, which I'm in love with. I love this type of stuff, and I don't want to be the lead on that, but let's talk about it. Noni, and let's start off with Noni and the Charlotte Spark and the Godtree. It's
That's a book. Mm-hmm.
That's a book. It is. It's a book.
I do be writing.
She is. She be writing. She feels nice. Feels nice on the hands and everything. It's just
like the matte cover. They asked me. They were like, "Do you want the glossy or the matte?" I was like, "No, I like the texture."
Yeah.
You need the feel with the book. You need the weight.
Yeah.
With the thickness.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
Feel the grooves. Yeah.
I feel like we're going right back into
Look at that. I'm among readers. You know the joys of a book. Yes.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about how did you come up with this concept?
So this question, people always ask me this question, and I always stumble because I'm like, well, I made it up, right? So like I made it up. But I was really inspired by the idea of the Yggdrasil. So does anybody know anything about like Norse mythology? I see nodding. Yes. Okay, so I was really into Norse mythology for a brief moment when I was younger. And the idea of the Yggdrasil being the world tree, the god tree, like the tree that connects all the different worlds and realms, I thought that was the coolest thing ever. So I was like, well, maybe I'll write a story that involves that. And I'm like, how could I work that into a story? How could I have a character that like travels between Earth and the other different realms, and what would those realms look like? And so after having like being inspired by that, the idea kind of just took off by itself. It really like wrote itself. I know that I wrote it. I know I did that. I know I did it. But like when you're writing and an idea takes off, it kind of just goes on its own. It's almost like the characters just are like, here's what we want to do. And then you're just like, okay, I'll make it happen.
Yeah. So would you say, because you're also a teacher, you're an English teacher here in Cleveland, would you say that was seeing what kids are reading or not reading? Would you say that was an influence as well?
Definitely. I was a reader when I was a kid, and my biggest issue was that there were no books when I was a kid where the main character was like me. She was, or like a black character, black girl who, you know, saved the world. Like, why did that not exist when I was when I was 12, when I was 13? And as I became a teacher, the different books that were a part of my curriculum just didn't reflect the students that I was teaching. Like I taught on 93rd in Cleveland. Like I taught deep inner city. And they were like, yes, would you like to teach Macbeth? And I was like,
to who?
Not these kids over here. What?
No.
So it's just, there were so many books that were, you know, a part of the curriculum, and books that they want us to teach that are from the canon and that are classic, but they don't reflect any of our children or their desires or their experiences or their identities. And how do you get a kid to buy into a book that has nothing to do with them? How do you get anybody to buy into a story where they can't connect?
Yeah.
And so, you know, I, as a reader and a writer, you know, I always wanted to read books where people like me could be the heroes. But since those books didn't exist, I decided that I was just going to write them. And nowadays, there are so many. I mean, like, I'm sure y'all can see the bookshelf. It's books.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the books on this shelf are fantasy books, and most of them are by people of color. I took a year, maybe a year or two, to only read books by people of color that were fantasy books. And all of it just blew my mind. Like, people are so imaginative and so creative, and the way that they weave their cultures in and out of the fantasy stories is just, it's incredible. And you don't get that if you don't read diversely, if those stories don't exist, if those people don't write those stories. So, you know,
I think that, and I'm glad you brought that up. We discuss a lot of this with a lot of writers on the show about people of color writing fantasy, writing sci-fi, you know, even in movies, you know, and it's not talked about enough. It's not seen enough. The ground is wide open. We know that. And we know that the want is there. We just know, like, the avenues seem to be closed off, I guess is the best way to put it. You know, gate kept. Exactly. Exactly. So when you see something, you know, and we'll be talking about some of these later, but when you see movies like Fast Color or Wrinkle in Time, you know, and they don't, you know, by all design, they should be great. They should be grabbing people into the theater, but yet, because no one knows about it, or it's not put in front of us in a very accessible way, it doesn't get seen, or it doesn't get heard about. It doesn't get talked about, you know. But having something like this, like your books, and then you being in the position of being a teacher, allows you to, you know, be that influence, not just as in the teaching aspect, but being that influence of saying, hey, you know, if you like something, you know, especially if you have a child in the class who maybe have an avenue to read Octavia Butler book, or see your book online and whatever, and be able to touch on that, you know, but not have anybody else to talk to.
yes,
You know, or say, you know, express that. And I think that's where they feel like it's not so much bullying, they don't know how to open up.
yes.
And if you tell them, hey, it's okay because I myself would read that, you know, or have read that, or, you know, or once you show them that you're in their world too,
Yes,
the floodgates open.
absolutely.
I
I teach 7th grade, which is, that's the grade. It just sounded like that's the time that you're talking about, like the time where they are lost, and, you know, in themselves, in the world, they are trying to find where they fit in, and everything is embarrassing, and oh my gosh, it's such a hard time for them. But like, at the same time, they're coming into themselves and into their creativity and their personalities, and like, it's a lot going on for them. But I think that introducing kids to art and the right kind of art, or the art that they need at this time, can be super influential. So like, I have students a couple of my students actually have read my book, and they're so sweet. They loved it. And then one of my students is like, oh, Miss Anglen, I'm writing my own book. Will you read it? I absolutely will. And it's actually good. Like, she's one of my really good students. And I mean, she's written like 30 pages of a book.
Nice.
7th grade.
That would literally make me cry.
Yeah.
And just for that alone, we're giving you this one. We need more like you.
We need educators, especially educators of color. That is a, not to get on a soapbox, because first and foremost, educators are near and dear to my heart, because I am who I am because of educators like yourselves in mentoring a little old crazy little kid like me at one point. But you're exactly right. It's not only just educators, but educators of color, and you're opening those doors for them. And just a question to you, when did you, as outside of the Macbeth issue, because I kind of laughed because in 7th grade, I was introduced to Macbeth, and I was one of those kids, and I was like, why do I need to know a bunch of white people getting killed over one woman? So that's I summed up Macbeth in one sentence, which got me in trouble. But it was a teacher like you that actually turned around and actually introduced us to other authors. I forgot their names already. But when did you notice that impact, as far as that change of when you decided to introduce that not only to kids but also in yourself when you saw that, if that makes sense? Like, when did you see your turning point?
Okay, that's a good question. It started mattering to me when I was teaching. I mean, I guess not mattering to me, but it started like clicking for me. There were multiple points. So the first time I was like, okay, my book matters. Like, I can do this, was when I read a book called Promise of Shadows by Justina Ireland. And it was the first fantasy book that I ever read where the main character was Black and she was a girl and she saved the world. Okay. And in the book, I remember there was a moment where like somebody was greasing her scalp.
You never hear that.
What? I was like, literally,
you did my face exactly when you said
like, what? Like, they're doing what? And she braided it. She did. I mean, it was just, so in that moment, I was like, okay, so like my identity, right? My culture, all of these things that I have been through or that I've experienced can also exist at the same time as fantasy. Like, that was the first time those two worlds collided for me. Okay. When I realized that they needed to collide for the kids was probably when I was teaching. I was teaching at a school for breakthrough charter schools here in Cleveland. I taught there for 5 years. And our curriculum, it was a curriculum that they gave to us. So like the teachers didn't make their own lessons. It was a charter school. So they were like, here are the lessons you guys are going to teach. Boom. And I didn't like that. I didn't like it because the books that they wanted us to read by far were not books that were going to connect to Black and brown kids. Right. And like, okay, I'm a teacher. I can make it connect, right? Like I can tell you about Macbeth and make it sound real, real cool. However, there are other books out there with the exact same plot with characters that probably look like you, that I could find, that we could read, that we could, practice the same skills. We can come to the same conclusions. We don't have to exist in these books that are ancient, right? Like, yes, it's important to read Shakespeare. Yeah. It helps with critical thinking, helps with understanding the English language. All of those things are great. But there are other ways. So it started colliding with me when my kids started complaining. They were like, they literally were like, I don't like this. This is boring. Can we read your book? Like they were flat out. Like the kids on 93rd, they was doesn't tell you. Like it wasn't, they weren't gonna say, hitting. You don't really like this. They like, this not hitting. No. This is it. No. Fair enough. So they asked me if they could read my book. So I had the same kids. I had them in 5th grade. And that's when I published my book, when they were in 5th grade. I taught them again in 7th grade and again in 8th grade.
Oh, so they know you. There's a relationship there.
Right. And so in 7th grade, they were like, well, can we read your book? Don't you have a book? Like, can we do that? And I was like, maybe.
Wait, can I?
Can I do that?
I don't see why not. I mean,
that's you go back to the rule book on that one. Like,
it's serving the purpose. However,
correct. So
it's in a conflict of interest, right? I mean,
right. So technically, yes, it was a little bit because the school couldn't buy the books because it was a conflict of interest. So it's my book, so I photocopied the whole thing and I just brought it to I was like, here we go, just read it like this. Whatever, who cares?
You gotta love
You are my favorite kind of English teacher. I swear to God, you remind me of my English teacher. She was a white lady, but she was cool. She was with it. She knew what time it was.
Listen,
you
gonna learn
she
today.
did, nah. Miss Ordover, shout out to you, Heather. You got me through. You told truth, and I appreciate you.
I still remember mine, Miss Brown. She even though she introduced us, and she was black, even though she introduced us to Shakespeare, she broke it down for us.
Yes, and you have, and you gotta make it relatable, and like those things are important.
Yeah.
Like Shakespeare's classic. Like, yes, if you're gonna do anything with reading and understanding and pop culture, like, yes, you need to read Shakespeare. In 7th grade, I don't know, but you definitely need to engage in Shakespeare.
I know Othello in 7th grade was the shit though, because you found out the dude was black. So
yeah.
He was black.
If they would have let me teach Othello, I probably would have had more fun. I'm not gonna cap. I probably would have. I would have.
So you have your influences, and you're obviously a major influence to your children, which is a breath of fresh air, because once again, them even asking you that's the light. You're just like, oh, I'm making a bigger impact than I realized, and then the conflict of interest, and we're like, you know what, something's got to step to the side, because these kids, they're looking for something.
Yes,
that's that fork in the road where you like, these kids are looking for something, and they're really wanting it, and to deny them that,
to keep a child's interest in anything, whether it be a book or a TV show nowadays, is a miracle. So the fact that they're clamoring for something that you made is
it was amazing.
So you are a unicorn.
Exactly.
Okay,
y'all want to read? You after all you're fighting with me, y'all want to read?
But that's
your stuff.
That's the beauty of educators like yourselves. Like, there are teachers. I say it like this: there are teachers, there are educators, because teachers, to a certain extent, will only do, I'm not gonna say the bare minimum, but they will follow whatever curriculum, academia, whatever plan they have. Educators will make it fun. Like, if you like, I see in your case, you can make it fun for your kids, especially if your kids are like, oh, we want to read what you read, because number one, you're getting them to read, which we've all seen kids these days. If it's not social media, if it's not an electronic device, they're not. I mean, for a good number of them, they're not going to pick up a book and read. So the fact that you're actually getting them to actually pick up a book, and they're interested and they're engaged, that's what educators can do. You can still teach whatever the lesson you are teaching of that day, you can teach them, but at the same time, you can connect with them and reach with them. And that's why I say there's a big difference between educators and teachers, because you can tell when you connect with your students versus those that's like, yeah, she taught me something. Yeah.
Yes. And I think that that was a moment where it was like, I am doing something important. I think I think this is what I should be doing. Like, when I decided I was going to become a teacher, I'm like, okay, this is something that should. Oh, that's my mom. Thanks, Mom.
Hey, Mom.
Hello, Mother.
Hi.
Right, Mom in the comments.
You did a good job.
Oh, and my dad. Look at that.
Y'all both did a good job.
Right. Y'all did a wonderful job.
And that, my friends, is called support.
Right.
Right. I'm sitting here drinking on camera. Let me get my posture together.
Not his posture. He didn't say that after the drink. He was like, I'm drinking. Let me get my posture. Notice he said nothing about the drink after.
Right.
He said the posture.
Brother, where art thou?
I ain't gonna put the drink down, but I'm gonna stand up straight.
Listen, know where you are. Don't try to overextend.
So, hold on. Look, there we go. Look, they really supporting. I love this.
I sent the link out. I was like, I know it's late, y'all, but if y'all want to watch, we're black and it's gonna be funny.
Yes. Trust me, people, we keep them going. Thank you for tuning in. So influencing, being an influence, I know there were stumbling blocks. What was yours?
I feel like one of my stumbling blocks that actually became kind of an awesome thing was the fact that I am not traditionally published. It is very hard to become traditionally published. The rejection rate for manuscripts from authors of color is like astronomically high. I'm sure you know that. And so, querying agents and trying to, get out there without really being exposed to the environment or to publishing was really, really tough at first. And so that was part of the reason why I decided to self-publish. I'm like, I'm not going to continue to be rejected when there are other options. And so I still have an editor. I still have a cover artist that is professional artist that designs, my covers and everything else. And all of the things that you would need if you were traditionally published that people would do for you. I just had to outsource those things myself, which was tough. And which, took a longer time for me to get the book out there, to be able to, if someone else was doing it for me, it probably would have gone a lot faster, probably wouldn't have cost as much, all those things. So like having to fundraise and having to, take time to do those things, that was definitely tough. But I do have a great support system because the books are out.
Yes.
Right.
Definitely takes a village.
So that definitely was tough, but self-publishing isn't bad. Like I really appreciate that I'm a self-published author because I have a lot more autonomy with things that I write about and the way that my books look. The person who does my cover, her name is Zakiya Jones. She is a Cleveland artist. She is amazing. She's done all 3 of my book covers. So A Shrouded Spark, which is the first book, this one, this is the 3rd cover of A Shrouded Spark.
Jasmine's in the building. Hello, Queen Jasmine.
She designed the 2nd cover of A Shrouded Spark. I think I might have oh yeah. So this is the 2nd cover.
And
so
these are great looking books, by the way.
Yeah.
She paints them on canvases, and then she takes them into Photoshop and does magic, and then they come out like this. And that is book 2, A Shattered Truth. Once again, she killed it. Like I don't know how she conceptualizes and does these things, but like I still have a very professional process, and I have so much autonomy over the what my covers, like what they say to readers, and I appreciate that autonomy and that I get to choose and that I get to that my books get to be Black unapologetically, and nobody is telling me, oh, you need to bring it down a little, like whatever. I'm writing what I want to write. People like it, is going out. If you were going through a traditional publisher, they have the autonomy, right? So like if there's something in your book that they think is controversial or political or whatever, those things
they don't understand.
Or they don't understand. Right. Those things often get edited out. I don't have time for that.
See,
catch up.
I think this is why we, and we've had several of them on. I think this is why we have the Jason Michael Primroses. We have the Breshea Anglens. We have the Aaron Browns, and we have all of these writers who are self-published. And they're just saying, because it's just one. Just like you said, you have the autonomy to run it yourself with no problem, with no hangups. And even though you still have those stumbling blocks, like you mentioned, you still don't have people hanging over your head saying, tone it down, bring it down. It's too loud. It's too Black, without them actually saying it's too Black, and it's too like, no, you're right. Like we need
it's too urban.
It's too urban. Yeah. That's the word. It's too urban. I'm like, just say what you mean.
We're not going to get enough of the audience, target audience that we want for you.
Right.
For you.
That we want for you.
Yeah. And the thing is, a lot of times we're not going after their target audience. We're going after us.
Correct.
And that's what makes the difference. So when you see us in sci-fi of any form and of any medium, you're ready to I'm supporting that.
Yes.
I good or bad, I got to see what this is about, because if we don't stand up and see that, then what's it all for? Like I said, Queen Jasmine's in the building. Halcyon Crow is her Fae name, and this weekend is Black Fae Day, May 13th. So you want to, all the Faes are coming out to play, and so shout out to her for bringing such a major platform to that. But speaking of fantasy and sci-fi, what is, as far as a film or television show, that have black leads, and there's few, but there's some.
Mm-hmm.
What would you like to see? What have you had? What is your favorite? What is your least favorite? Or what would you like to see more of?
I would like to see more of us not being sidekicks. One.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because like it's I see you almost making us the main character. Almost. I would like for us to not be different colors, as in like green, purple, blue skin.
Yes.
Eater. Animated.
I would for that to be done. I'm done. And I just need to see us as main characters with deeply crafted stories. That's it. That's all I'm asking for. So, like, for example, one of my favorite like animes or like anime inspired shows is, what is it? Yasuke.
Nice.
I loved every minute of that because I love anime, right? And I believe it's anime inspired because it was made in it's anime inspired, right? So I mean, like when I saw it, I was like, is he the main character? Like, is this real? And I watched it. I mean, I know, it's short, it's not long, but like his background and his backstory and the things that he had to go through and struggle through, like all of that is so important when we're crafting like 3-dimensional characters for people to believe in. And I feel like a lot of times the Black and brown characters are very 2-dimensional because they end up being sidekicks and they end up being side characters. So if we are crafting those deeply entrenched, very, very detailed stories for our characters, that makes it easier for people to relate to them and find something in that story that they can hold on to. Like, one of my favorite animes is Naruto. I love Naruto. Shippuden.
She's very direct on that one now. I'm glad she pointed that out.
I feel like there's a point to be made.
Notice how she came through with like, wait before you go to touch that.
I feel like you want to give a disclaimer. Go, feel free.
Naruto is 44% filler, and I don't know why. Anyway.
I know some people who would totally agree with you.
All right. So
poor writing.
Okay, listen. Let me. I have so many feelings. But
bring it to the altar.
But to stay on topic, he is one of my favorite anime characters because of his drive, because of his determination, because of his ability to bring the enemies to the other side. Like, all of those things are so dynamic. He is a 3-dimensional character. Why can't we have characters like that are brown, that inspire people? Naruto has inspired so many people. Not to say that the writing is the best or that it's the best show ever, but it's inspiring. We need stories like that where the characters look like us, so our kids can connect to that. Like,
I see that.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. No.
No,
mine is so much not on topic at all. Please go ahead.
You thought I had something? Like I run Gambit over here.
Ma'am, are you wearing Tanjiro's earrings?
Yes. Hanafuda earrings.
Hanafuda earrings.
I was like, wait a minute.
I respect that.
Turn your head one more time. I like it.
Ew. Listen,
sorry, I'm
always a fan of the hardworking animation. Listen,
there it is. I don't have nothing yet.
This was not planned. Not planned. Oh man. Queen Jasmine says we celebrate because of the tenacity and the fire of authors such as yourself. And she was just saying brown baby Tangier.
I want a brown baby.
Look, I love the comment section, boy. I swear they come through it. They always come
in that section of my little Naruto babies. You know what I mean? Like, oh, y'all try so hard. Oh my goodness, you're so sweet. You know? Oh, sweet little cinnamon rolls. Yes. Yes.
That's a new one. I might have to use it. I might have to use it. I'll give you the credit though. Oh, my dear sweet little cinnamon roll. that'll throw them off their game. Yo, so we're talking anime now. So you've already mentioned Yasuke, and Naruto is one of your favorites. Oh, which is what is your worst one that you've seen?
Favorite?
Yeah.
One Piece.
I rate
sorry.
How dare you? How dare you? You're talking to a straw hat. How dare you?
I mean, we know how Kira feels.
I said what I said. Anyway.
So unfortunately,
I
don't have I'm not one of God's strongest soldiers. Okay?
It ain't all it's cracked up to be.
I can't even do One Piece. I tried it. And you know what? I was like, you know what? I am not wearing the full armor of Christ, and I cannot do this.
I stand with you, my sister, in solidarity.
Give it a chance. Like you pointed out, Naruto Shippuden, because Naruto is a lot of filler.
It's a lot of filler.
It is definitely. I have not heard anybody say different. It's a lot of filler.
Lips, boy. I tell you.
To be completely honest, when I went back and like rewatched the last 150 episodes of Shippuden, and the amount of fillers that I had to skip, where they were like, "Oh, do you want to see Kakashi's face right before we kill the bad guy?" What? No,
come on, y'all gotta give the straw hat a chance. Trust me, as I started off, I'm not gonna here. Don't let me hold you. I started off some time back watching it. It wasn't a hard watch. I think I just wasn't invested.
Mm-hmm.
Once it took a couple years, I came back around to it because I was watching a bunch of other animes. I came back around to it, and I'm like, all right, let me get past basically the introductions.
That's 100 episodes.
Yeah,
once you get past
there isn't one anime I've seen that is just going to take a while. Now, granted, does One Piece have some fillers? Yeah, it does.
Does it?
It does.
Okay,
it does. But you know it when you see them.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, okay, you can literally just skip past it. Like, you don't need it.
How dare you have over 900 episodes and have anything be filler and expect me to?
Definitely, two of the fillers were actually good stories.
Absolutely not.
Yeah. I didn't think about that. Two out of the 7 fillers in One Piece are actually good stories.
Yeah, they're not bad fillers. It's just fillers that you don't necessarily need.
Fair enough.
You know. So.
All right.
So
and Kira's gonna still be a solid no.
Yeah,
nope.
Listen, my father has been. First of all, I run the anime club with another teacher at my school.
Look at that.
We love the anime club. And my father and all of the students have been trying to get me to watch One Piece. They've been trying so hard. And I'm like, guys, at what cost?
One Piece is for the children. One Piece is for the children.
Okay. Like,
when you literally watch it, and when it changes, you'll notice the change.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice the change. You'll be like, oh, I'm in it now.
I'm trying to get to the part where I'm in it, where lives are at risk. Because right now he's just
I can tell you a number episode to start off with, but I'll just let you find it.
Yeah, it lives start to get at risk real.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, yo, wait a minute.
That's what I want. Like, I'm an Attack on Titan girl. Like, I need lives at risk at all times.
That's what I need. That's all I'm saying. Like, get to it. Like, what are we waiting for?
I'm gonna put it to you like this, Lady Mandalore and Breshea. I'm gonna put it to you like this. If you've seen Guardians Volume 3, which Lady Mandalore, I know you did.
Twice.
Okay.
Flex.
They do the same thing with One Piece.
Mm-hmm.
We don't leave without the something happened. We all here. We're such and such. We got to go back. We get them.
But when?
Oh, you're talking about that?
Yeah. We're
talking about that. You're talking about that arc where he wouldn't. Okay.
Yeah. Like once they get further in, you're just like, oh, nobody leaves.
Mm-hmm.
Like they do not turn. Like they just like they might be on separate battles, but I'll be damned, they not leaving without their squad.
Mm-hmm.
It goes down. So it definitely goes. And when it goes, shit.
Mm-hmm. That's beautiful.
Fucking ace.
The four captains arc with Whitebeard.
Oh my God.
Some One Piece has already been spoiled for me. Like I already know which character gets turned into a donut. You feel me? Like,
Madam, you have secured you. I mean, I was already not in it, but I am so now.
Now you're
like, what is this show about?
Nothing. Nothing.
Not like a literal donut. Not like a literal donut, but you know, like donut. You know, like
No, I know what you're talking about.
If One Piece at the end is nothing about friendship, there's gonna be a lot of ticked off people.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of ticked off people.
It is the Seinfeld of anime, and no one was.
No, that's not fair. Now, if she had said the Friends of anime, then I would have been upset. But this Seinfeld's good. I've watched it. I'll watch it before I watch Friends. That's for damn sure.
Exactly.
That's fine. I'm just saying, topic like theme for theme, it's matching up a lot.
Look, I'll put it to you like this: in one of their arcs, they're facing off with a pirate. They're dressed in all black. They came in like gangsters,
like black Air Forces.
Black Air Force.
That was kind of a revenge arc, but they came in with like, as much as you see Luffy with them daggone sandals on, his whole gear changed up for that. Like he was all black. It was an all black.
Not 4X black tee.
It was just like, oh no, it was like you about to get these hands today.
Main characters, because you always can tell the main character, if he's a happy-go-lucky, it's like, okay, cool, he ain't smiling. People about to die.
That's where I want to start. I want to see the drama. I need to see lives being lost. I am all about it. All that stuff is.
You always know when it's really going down. It's a certain song that plays. Mm-hmm. When that song plays, you be like, they getting ready to get it in.
So with that being, so let me ask you this though, because of your taste and your taste in anime. So have you ever seen Hunter x Hunter?
Oh my god, yes, love it.
Okay, so you've seen the part where Gon snaps. You've seen the part where Gon snaps, and you've seen where Kira has no remorse about what happens next.
Right.
Those moments are my favorite moments in anime. When the good guy snaps, I don't know what it is for me, but that is like
Luffy has a couple snap moments.
Yeah,
He has some snap moments. He was like, "You did what?" And it's just like the dude that eats all the time. All of a sudden, he just flipped. It was like you did the wrong thing. It's like our first time seeing Rock Lee asking his sensei, "Can I take the weights off?"
Yes.
I'm sorry, what? Take the weights off.
And that's what made us all gnar. That's what made us all. You know what? It's like you like Chris said. You have those scenes in anime that turn you anime fans. Dragon Ball. If you ever see you see Goku go Kadokan for the first time, and you see Rock Lee take the weights off, and in that moment, and I always say this one thing about anime: if it's got a killer soundtrack to it, you'll remember the soundtrack more than you remember the action.
Samurai Champloo turned so many cats on.
Man, hip hop with Samurai.
Cowboy Bebop. Listen,
yep, that's another one.
We're gonna hang out when I come to Cincinnati one of these days. We're gonna chill.
Just gonna drive past.
We gonna eat.
Just gonna drive.
I'm gonna pick you up after school, and we're gonna go chill. We're gonna go watch some anime.
Just roll
and reminisce.
See my wife now. Who are you waving at? I thought it was Lady Mandalore.
Right.
I'll get you after. We got a pregame. We got pregame.
You know how you always got that. You always got that one. You got that when you was walking back in the day. You didn't have a car, and then your boy drove. Like, oh, I seen you, man. I'm like, well, why didn't you pick me up, man? Like,
that part.
You know the wheel well. I can't really, too much.
Right, it's always the wheel well. You know that power steering fluid. Yeah.
Once you turn to the right, it's a whole workout turn to the left.
So as now the show has become the conversion of the ladies to make them watch One Piece.
Look, I wish you the best in the battles to come.
We welcome you to our annual meeting of One Piece Convergence.
We're reading from the book.
Straw Hat.
Verse 5.
Oh, sweet brother Luffy.
That's how it always starts. Sweet brother Luffy, as he stepped his foot. That man, his feet must look like a bad day at Burger King Nuggets. Somebody that walk in sandals like that.
Hey, Burger King Nuggets get way too much slander in life. I feel like
Burger King
they're
Nuggets
deserved.
Somebody said it tastes like deer ankle meat, and I was offended.
That would be me in DC. Stefan Johnson has said it tastes like desperation, and yeah,
it's $10. It's 10 nuggets for $1. How are you not immediately questioning life?
Like, what were you expecting?
Yeah,
listen.
I used to work at Burger King. Listen, let me tell you something. Stay away from nuggets.
Stay away from nuggets.
It's not like McDonald's nuggets. You know, it ain't nothing like you just be like, huh?
That's why I say you gotta go to Chick-fil-A where the chick was blessed by Jesus. Praise Jesus.
Oh my God. So we're talking to Breshea, Anglen, about black fantasy, black sci-fi. So if you tuned in, thank you. I have a couple picks for possibly underrated black sci-fi or fantasy films. So we'll start them off. One of them, Lakeith Stanfield in Sorry to Bother Me. This was a weird one.
It was good. I liked it.
It was good. It was definitely good. It was underrated because when you're just, it's literally like, what the hell? Like,
how do we get? Wait, what is this about?
Yeah.
Sorry to bother you is what we are. Sorry to bother you is what black people do at call centers.
Yeah. It even throws you off when you see Danny Glover put on his white voice, and you're just like, ain't no way.
Like, me for a loop. Listen,
not Murtaugh. Murtaugh, white voice.
Yeah,
Riggs.
I'm so used to between him and Mister from Color Purple.
People you'll never trust again.
Ever.
As an actor, ever. Like, I don't know you personally, but if I ever saw you,
it's like, man, I hated you. I hated you in the Color Purple.
Yeah, like evil Dave Chappelle. Like, he just shows up and I'm like, you know what, dude? I know his name is Bokeem Woodbine, but I'm just like, dude, every time you on screen,
yeah.
It's like, we support you, brother, but man, you played that role too good.
You played it too good, and now I can't trust you.
We're gonna have some problems. Evil Dave Chappelle.
Lawrence Fishburne will never shake off Ike.
No. I don't care how smooth Lawrence Fishburne talks. I'm just like, don't piss this man off.
And the anime, you gonna go ahead and do this song, anime. You can go ahead.
It's always that meme. It's always that meme when he look back.
That's classic.
Another slept on black sci-fi film is The Brother from Another Planet, starring Joe Morton. This was in 82? No, 84.
84. Yeah.
He was a slave on his home planet. He was an alien slave on his home planet that crash landed in Harlem. And he had a knack for fixing machines. And so he got hired. He was mute the entire film. And these two aliens were looking for him to bring him back to the quote unquote homeworld plantation. In the neighborhood stood up for him. It's weird. That was my first time getting introduced to Joe Morton. It was the first, like, ever since then he's just been Olivia Pope's daddy. But other than that,
he was that dude with
Eli.
Don't play with Eli. Another one that slept on. Slight.
Yeah.
Slight is slept on. You have here. You got
I know.
a
I
young,
never saw it.
Yeah, you got a young brother who is extremely smart in what he's doing. He's a bit of a con artist, I guess you could say. You know,
he's a low budget Mysterio.
Yeah, he's a low budget Mysterio. Unfortunately, he's a low budget Mysterio. But he's doing it for a reason. You know, it's always the brother that's like he's running con games for a reason. Like he's got a younger brother he's taking care of, or just to put food on the table. It's a reason behind the hustle. So speaking of Lawrence Fishburne, Event Horizon.
Nuts.
This movie, I still don't understand this. I still don't understand this movie.
Understand it. It's just nuts.
It's meant to confuse and leave you befuddled.
It's a mind screw for sure. It's definitely a mind screw for sure. But damn, is it good? It's space horror. It's space horror. It's like when you get a good mix of two genres, you're pretty much on to something. And you're just like, I couldn't explain it for nothing. However, it's good.
Yeah.
And so another one that, and as I spoke about it before, another one that should have really got its shine was A Wrinkle in Time.
Yes.
This is very much underrated. Because of your it's your cast. It's the cast. You got a strong cast. And somehow it didn't.
I'm going to take this drink real slow, so I don't say nothing.
I want you to say something.
Don't hold it in.
Technical difficulties on my end. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Breshea. I feel like you have something to say on your heart.
No, I just run. I like the book better, but I always like the books better.
Okay. So let's and I can agree with you on that, because it's very hard, at least not for us. They make it hard to transfer a lot of stories over to film. Would have done better as a series, probably. When you have a good book, it's really hard to say, let's condense this down.
I'm finding learning, so I don't know if I can talk about this right now.
Don't do it.
If there's a gag order, we won't tell you.
If it's not legal, you shouldn't say it.
It's not illegal. But, I am currently working. I'll say this: I'm working on a script for a book, and I am seeing that books probably are better episodic.
Yeah, there's a reason why there's chapters to
the reason
books.
Why there's chapters, because yes, you can condense a book into a movie, but there are so many interactions with characters you can miss. There are so many thematic moments you can miss. You cannot condense everything into 90 minutes. That is impossible. Even 2 hours, 2.5 hours. Like, you're gonna miss out on nuances between characters and just conversations, and you can't.
Agree.
Totally. I mean, y'all seen Just Kidding Brawling and HBO? They rolling this joint back out. They doing Harry Potter the series.
I still don't know why.
Why?
It's kind of like
Hogwarts.
We got it. We got it through the book. We got it through the movies.
They get Hermione.
Good.
Hermione right.
You couldn't do like the assassin said. You couldn't do like a Return to Hogwarts, like.
And I'm a big Harry Potter fan. Like, I played Quidditch for 2 years. Like, I'm a fan.
Why not? I always sit there and say, why not just have a different, like you said, have a different kid go to Hogwarts?
Yes.
The owl can't go to Harlem?
Just do the video game. The video game was fire.
But they won't
go. The video game storyline is fire.
But you already know they're not going to. Video game adaptations to movies, what's the win-loss ratio to that?
HBO has figured it out. That's where it would be. It would be on HBO.
We're just now figuring it out. That's what it is.
They won't do it. I mean, like, it's good. Take A Wrinkle in Time. A Wrinkle in Time, like you guys just said, should have been, and it should have. Well, first off, really should have been redone properly. They should have the right people to actually go over the story, the right casting, which was already there. But again, you have all these elements that worked out to where it didn't have the effect it shouldn't have had. So take Harry Potter, for example.
It was congested. It was congested and rushed.
Yeah, congested and rushed. Harry Potter's going to wind up being the same thing because, again, It can be episodic.
Sassy.
It can have different characters. There's a whole new universe. As a whole, and the universe is already set up to where other kids can come in and fulfill these roles of characters we already know.
Tell about a different house. It doesn't have to be the Gryffindor house. Tell about a different house.
Correct.
It's Gryffindor.
Like anything.
Yeah.
As a Gryffindor person, I'm like, yeah, that's the only house that matters.
Jesus, I'm Gryffindor too, but that doesn't mean I don't want to see other stories.
I mean,
Slytherin is just going to give you a lot more drama.
Hogwarts HBCU parties. That's why y'all wasn't. Yeah. Y'all was not coming to the program. Not coming.
Not the HBCU. Oh, that was a glorious time, though. It was.
That was a wonderful, peaceful time, wasn't it? There was
like, I'm liking this. Why don't we have this?
Tribes.
I was here. I was like, I want to wear all the colors now. Everybody was bringing their A game.
Stepped out. Hufflepuff stepped out. Oh, it was a wonderful time.
Oh my God, it was glorious. So, Pitch Black. Pitch Black.
That was a good one. I go back to that one every once in a while.
Pitch Black, even Riddick. Chronicles of Riddick, because it's three of them, right?
Oh, there's a flag on the play. Wait a minute.
Yeah, Riddick.
Sorry. I'm not very super familiar with the entire cast of Chronicles of Riddick. Who was the lead there?
Groot. Carl Urban.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like breaking news about Vin Diesel I needed to hear about. I was like, wait a minute.
All this time?
we never knew.
I think you're having a joke about Vin Diesel. Nobody knows he's black. That's why he gets the work.
Jesus, lead them.
We don't talk about the breakdancing videos and the Street Shark commercial that he did back in the day.
Super duper octoroons.
That's why he gets the work.
But we have there's a few. I wouldn't mind. And they tried it before. It was kind of too little, too late. I wouldn't mind a Men in Black done right. Like you had a nice, the one with Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth. It should have worked,
but it didn't.
And that's the problem. I don't.
How many? Okay, maybe I'm indifferent on this. Could you, after the first Men in Black, where do you go from there?
It was actually the first and second one.
Yeah.
But if they stayed, that was fine. But the series was so much better.
Oh, yeah, the animated series was cool. The animated series on WB was good.
And it had a bomb soundtrack. Like that song.
But I mean, after you tell Jay's story, that's what the whole thing Men in Black was. It was literally surrounding, after 2 and 3, which is, I guess it's supposed to tell Jay's whole story. And
it does. It tells Jay's story.
Yeah.
But like that third one came out so late that you made Luke Cage his daddy. So it's just kind of like,
hey, listen. That third one might not be great, but Josh Brolin deserves awards and flowers.
He did kind of nail that Tommy Lee Jones.
Dude playing a dude.
I'm like, he did kind of nail that though,
Yeah.
It's Jay's story. And I think by the time they did the last one with Tessa Thompson and Chris Hemsworth, the elements were there. They've worked together before, so that should have worked. I don't know if it's one of those too little, too late things.
I just say it was a poor story.
Yeah.
I just say it's a poor story. If the story ain't cooking, the movie won't hit, or the show won't hit. Don't believe me? Ask Naomi.
Too soon.
Too
soon.
From Hell's Gate. From Hell's Gate, I stab at thee. I will stab at CW's heart every time.
Should Men in Black International have warned us about Thor 4? Like, did they catch lightning in a bottle with Ragnarok? And then International came out. He's like, maybe that was. And then Thor 4 came around. It's like, ooh, maybe we don't like this as much.
That was what's his face? Chris Hemsworth's run. He's like, shoot, I got Thor, I've got Ragnarok. I've got Men in Black International. I've got Extraction. I'm gonna run this whole year of movies that are just being handed to me with ridiculous amounts of money and not care if they're good or not. Although Extraction was a shit, I'm not gonna lie.
Actually, Extraction was good. But I don't know. You're right. You're right, Black Spartan. It's the storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
You have all the other elements, but nothing lines up. You tell me more about Tessa Thompson's character, please. That seems fun.
But I gotta toss that to you, Breshea, because I gotta ask you, because you being a writer and you mentioning about your characters, and the one thing you had mentioned like way earlier, which is still in the back of my head, is like, I like how you described that you didn't really think of the characters. It's almost like it was already in your subconscious, and you just went along for the ride as they literally told their own stories. You were just more of a witness. And I gotta ask is, when it comes to your story writing, do you see it that way as far as just letting your mind wander and just going with that, or do you have a certain type of process? I'm just curious.
Both. Definitely both. When it depends on what part of the writing process I'm in. So when I'm like brainstorming and coming up with like characters and their personalities and backgrounds, usually then I write in a notebook and I kind of just go crazy. And like I find that when I write in a notebook, it slows my brain down enough that I can like be more creative, because when I'm typing, I'm just going.
Right.
But when I am actually writing the story and like, getting into the plot and the events and all that stuff, I'm typing. And that is more of an organized process. Like I use a couple different softwares that I use to make it more organized. I use something called Plotter, where it is the coolest thing ever. It's like a digital timeline.
Okay.
So like you can set up your chapters and events like you would on a timeline. I'm a visual person. That really helped me. And it works along with another software called Scrivener that I use to actually type out chapters and write. So you can literally type out all your notes, organize everything piece by piece, characters, places, backgrounds, chapters, outlines, and then upload it to Scrivener, and it'll organize everything for you. So you're just ready to start typing.
Oh, that sounds too much like Skynet.
Oh my God.
It sounds too much like Skynet to me, but I get the process. But in my mind, I'm like,
yes. So like the part where I'm like more freehanding everything is more in the beginning when I'm laying the groundwork, and then once I have the groundwork, I can get into the more structured part.
Cool. Yeah, I just like the fact that when you hear authors talk about how their process works, and you just like, it's like I didn't create her. It's like she was there, and it's like. And you can tell because as I was noticing your eyes as you were talking, you kind of darted up. It's like, it's almost like, yeah, it was just how she came to be. And she had these elements and this and how, I want to put her in that. And I love that because that tells me off the bat for a lot of great and talented authors, imagination is heavily needed. And as I was trying to kind of read a little bit of your book over here because I was just seeing them on Amazon. So,
nice.
But no, I love that type of, because if that is the way you process as far as how you tell the story, it's going to have an effect on how the story is going to read out. So that's the reason why I wanted to ask you, because like I said, we were talking about if you can illustrate verbally, your story is great. And it just adds that much more detail to it. Like I should be able to, like, for most people, like all of us here, except Will, because
huh?
I had to get his attention somehow. He's wearing a Naruto hat, but I had to get his attention
clutch.
somehow. But no, it's the whole idea of just like being visual readers. We like to be able to see it as we're reading, and that's kind of the vibe I got from you. That's the reason why I wanted to ask, But no, it's cool to actually see this kind of stuff because, again, you being an educator, you've been able to find ways to connect not just with kids, but with other readers, and that the other influences you have. Like I said, I dig it all, except for the One Piece thing, but, I don't hold that against you.
Thank you. Thank you for not holding it against me. I understand.
It's no judging.
Flaw.
It hurts a little bit. But
Like
it's
it's
no
a flaw.
judging.
You know,
Be the leader of the anime club at school and not have watched One Piece.
Mm.
you carry that
You
scar.
good? Them kids don't know. They don't look. They don't know. They don't know. Girl, look.
They know some things. A couple.
Some things, a couple things. You know, we can't all.
Like
Be perfect. It's fine. It's
No.
fine.
There's a
got
lot of
Sailor
anime
Moon
to
right there
digest.
behind you. Like
There's a lot of anime to digest. I don't blame anybody.
At least you didn't show me Kira.
I'm
Huh?
I was just literally
That
watching
really
Dr.
messed them
Stone.
up.
I mean, I watched Dr. Stone, and then on the other end, I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So what? It's room for everybody.
Mhm.
For the record,
Fair enough.
JoJo Taro is my favorite JoJo.
Respect.
Yeah. That's my favorite one. And then Jolene. This is a close second.
They lost me in Stardust Crusaders. It was too long.
Stardust Crusaders is very long. I didn't realize the way they ran that season. That was my only hang up. I'm like, wait a minute, what
It's
is
like,
going on?
Why? Okay. It was like the same setup for every 2 episodes for the whole season.
Mhm.
And I wanted to box with whoever did that.
That was Stardust Crusaders was a long season because I was trying to determine where the break was. I couldn't tell.
And we were going to get to the part where lives were at risk. Why did it take so long?
That creator was like, I'm gonna tell my story.
Oh,
There was one thing, and I had actually read about this with JoJo between Stardust Crusaders and when the first season and the second season, there is a dramatic difference because it was always Harmon in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Harmon, and then by second season, Stans, and that's all. It was Stans from there on out.
yes.
And I was like, what happened to Harmon?
What happened?
It was the writing.
Hmm.
It was the writing. And I'm like, oh, because they were trying to find their footing. I'm like, good Lord, y'all just abandoned. I love the stand runs. The stand runs are amazing.
They go straight to plan B.
Yeah. I was just like, okay, this is what we're doing. All right. So yeah, JoJo has his moments. The dance scene, I could have done without playing with the cherries. I was just like, what the hell is going on with the cherries? Why are you doing this, dude?
I'm sorry. What happens?
It's
a little weird.
It's weird. It's a weird moment with some cherries, and you're just kind of like, why?
Oh my God, yes. I put that so far deep into my mind.
Yeah.
And we're back. We're back.
Here at Blerd's Eye View, and Chris Fury has a file of unneeded information. It just happens that way. It's like the Clone Saga of Spider-Man. I was like, I try to forget it, but it's still there.
It's still funny. It's still funny.
Just there's so much to digest, and I don't know why I wasted it, but that's okay. I have a question, and I don't. Why is Zack Snyder trying to make fetch a thing? I don't understand why he's still trying.
Snyder syndrome. Snyder Stockholm syndrome.
It truly is. These people are victims.
But Justice League.
Don't tell them that.
He says, I have all these plans. No, dude, we see
you did. Past tense, baby. Past tense.
I never got to direct Batman versus Superman the way I wanted to. Yeah, you got it.
So the latest thing to come out was that he had plans for Metallo to show up in Batman versus Superman. I said, as if you didn't have enough going on in that film.
Zach is trolling. Like, I don't believe
there's no possible way.
I
had The Dawn of Justice, Dark Knight Returns, and a Metallo and the Death of Superman. That's 4 different runs from different eras.
Listen,
in the same film.
By next February. Nope. Wait. Where we at? Juneteenth. Let's put some money on it. He gonna say, you know what? Static was supposed to be in it.
No, I don't think. I don't think.
He said pre-Static. Just plain Virgil before he got the powers.
I don't think he's that brave. I don't think he's that brave to bring Milestone into it. I have plans for static. No,
So where
that's how you-
Brandon Easton and the rest of the crew was like, the hell you say?
I can see it's like we seen Justice League. Pass. That's a hard.
He just keeps popping up, and I'm like, why is he still trying to make this a thing? It was like, look, dude, the ship has sailed. Just let it be.
Just let it just go.
Yeah,
It's
He's
fine.
like,
It's
you know-
okay. It's okay to let this one go.
Yeah.
You know what? I feel.
It's like the guy who peaked in high school and just won't let it go.
So can
Yes, it's definitely
I don't
better
want to
for
make
you.
this sad. So he's got there might be a deeper connection to why he won't let this go.
The daughter, was it the daughter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I just cannot see 40 years later. 300 was a great movie. Yes, sir. Here, sir, take your pills.
Oh, no.
Let's go sit down.
Oh.
He's doing it again.
But I mean, Army of the Dead. We
not
know
him
that.
being the king on Bridgerton. No. Oh no. Oh no, that's no.
It's so bad.
That's so
It is so bad.
I could have made DC great. Well, okay, Dad. Just go into that.
You gave us the 4-hour cut. There were some very decent scenes in the 4-hour cut. It's fine, but
My boy.
okay, dude.
Thank you for your service.
That's it. That's all. It's all. Leave it alone.
Hey.
Thank you.
It's okay. We don't need any more. We're fine now.
We'll go to bed. We'll go to bed. We'll put the drink down.
I'm a double agent. Just be out here.
I was supposed to have The Rock on Black Adam.
Jesus.
Oh Jesus.
I see it and I'm just like, oh God, like I have to check all the news sites and I'm like, again? Like again? I was just like, we got more? There's more? Like,
but he's got a cult. He's got a cult following. It's just you always gonna have those folks that are gonna sit there on that hill and say that Justice League Snyder Cut was the best DC movie. There was nothing wrong with XYZ. Warner Brothers had no faith in him. There are always going to be those folks that are going to sit on that hill with their spear on that lonely little branch and die on it because the rest of the world sees reality. So, and he knows it's get some traction. I mean, be happy with whatever movie you're supposed to be working on right now.
Yeah, which is the one for Netflix, right? Yeah,
the one for Netflix. I mean,
well, which is everything's on hold right now, but yeah.
Ooh, I mean, Army of Thieves was good. It's okay to be 1 for 6.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
well, it's nothing wrong with that. It was actually a good move.
Yeah. I mean, you switched off zombies for a second. It actually did something that was worth watching. Bravo. Even Michael Bay gets one right.
Which one did he get right?
Explosions.
Bad Boy.
You said Bad Boy.
I give him Bad Boys. That's it. I give him the first Bad Boys, and that's it. Because after Bad Boys 2 and Bad Boys for Life, let's be honest, that just becomes lethal weapon for Black people. Which part about? Tell me I'm wrong.
It is lethal weapon for Black
Tell me I'm
people.
wrong.
It is.
I can't see no other way now.
You be watching Bad Boys for Life too. It's be like, man, why are we still doing this?
Mike Lowry.
Mike Lowry got a kid now. That's gonna be interesting as hell.
Yeah.
No. You say it as though there's going to be another movie. Let's not. Let's not.
Well, they were shooting.
Yeah,
Like
they
I
were
said,
shooting until the strike happened.
Yeah, so everything's on hold.
That's why I was like, yeah,
it's
Kira,
a tragedy.
I got some bad news.
It's a tragedy. I'm so sorry that they're going through this now.
I don't want to bring the room down. I really don't, because we always have fun here. I kind of gotta have a beef. I got a beef, and y'all seen it in the chat that we had. Prayers out to Jamie Foxx and everything that whatever is going on. Prayers out to him, but to all these news sites, stop speculating and trying to figure out what happened.
That part.
That is bothering to me. Like when Charlemagne the God is the voice of reason in a room.
Lord. What?
he literally said the same thing. He was just like, "That's all good and all, but can we just say prayers for Jamie Foxx and hope he gets better?" Like, I'm like, when Charlemagne,
give that man some peace.
It was like, I'm like, if Charlemagne's the God, the voice of reason, what is that saying about the state of the world?
State of affairs, dumpster fire.
Pretty much.
He was like, now hold on. I was just like, wait, that was actually profound. You made sense, my guy.
Every clock is right twice a day.
Right.
Yeah. Right. That was Leonard.
It's happy hour somewhere.
That was Leonard.
Leonard.
That was Leonard. Oh my God.
He got good sense.
Someone gather Leonard, please.
Yeah. He's going off the reservation again.
That's a fair point. I mean, let the man rest and recuperate, and we wish him well. And he is missed. The man is a triple threat
for real.
Who else can make up a comic bit on the fly in front of a piano while serenading Serena Williams?
Speaking of blacks in sci-fi, somebody cloned Tyrone. I'm waiting for this one to drop on Netflix.
Is it is it delayed or what?
I think I don't know if they pushed it back or if they just advertised it early.
It might have been early.
Yeah, because it comes out next month on Netflix.
I've been like Birdman in the window, baby. Like I'm waiting for this. Like, give me what I want. John Boyega's been putting stuff up in his posts. I'm looking at him like, all right, you cute, but when's the movie coming out? Send this to me now.
Because I had to keep thinking. I'm like, wait, wasn't it April or May? And like, no, like Black Spartan said, they advertised it like super early.
Yeah, because initially it was supposed to come out June. It's still, for intents and purposes, supposed to come out June 14th on Netflix. They haven't. I had to do a quick search, so it looks like it's still set for June 14th. So there hasn't been any news since then. So probably will still come out around that time.
Yeah, I think they're gonna wait before they really start pushing it
up.
Yeah,
Yep. And then Zack Snyder makes his announcement a couple days later.
You know what? I'm getting my Outlaw Johnny Black, so I'm good.
Ooh, Outlaw Johnny Black.
I am finally getting the sequel to Black Dynamite that I wanted so bad.
It's the descendant of the Black Dynamite, is Outlaw Johnny Black.
What kind of preacher are you, Baptist?
Seeing Michael Jai White as a cowboy, but he's doing kung fu, and I'm like, there's some really clean kung fu for it to be the Old West, my guy.
I'm not against it.
I ain't complaining because once again, it's one of these blaxploitation films. I'm like, hey, it's just taking place in the Old West.
That is true, but Black Dynamite.
So, Breshea, what are you watching now?
I started Dead Man Wonderland. It's interesting. I don't know if I like it yet.
She's filling it out. I know. I understand.
It takes me at least like a season to decide. Like, I'd give every anime a season.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair.
Like, to truly, like, because I feel like if you give it the first couple episodes, it takes a minute to get into the story. So I'm
the storytelling is different for anime.
Yeah. So I'm like, I'll give it a season. I'll give you a little 20 episodes or whatever, and then see what I can say. So I'm watching Dead Man Wonderland. I am rewatching my favorite anime because I do this every year. I'm rewatching Tokyo Ghoul, the first season.
Not Will with them loud ass thunderclaps, boy.
Where's your child?
Asleep.
Not no more.
Not anymore.
He sleeps through thunderstorms. It's impressive that little boy does right now.
But yes, I'm rewatching that. What else? I'm getting back into anime. Anime is very inspiring for me, and like it helps. It really helps me, like watching how characters work out their problems on screen, or how other authors like write their characters out of a problem. Really helps me. So I really like watching anime because there's so much conflict all the time.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm doing a lot more reading, I guess right now too. I'm reading We Do This Till We Free Us by Mariam Kaba.
I heard about this one.
It's a great book. It's about prison abolition, and why prisons should like not exist. And people want to argue that fact, and I would love to. I love arguing, but it's a great book. I've been reading it for a while. It's a tough read, but I think it's a read that it should be like a necessary read.
Yeah.
Tough in the sense of complicated or tough, technical.
It's tough emotionally to read,
Mm-hmm.
and also just like content wise, like the level of rigor. Like as a teacher, I'm thinking this would probably be like a college textbook. Like it reads like a textbook. It doesn't read like a.
Mom says she has that.
Mom says she got that book.
Got that book.
Yes,
It's very, very necessary.
it's a great book. It is great, and so I've been reading for a while. I got like 40 pages left, and then I'm also reading what is it? What is it called? Oh gosh, a fantasy book. Listen, I'm reading like 5 books at once.
Don't feel bad.
No,
it's when you're
You can
amongst people who read, like it's a thing.
Mhm.
It's a thing.
I'm teaching the kids books at school. I'm reading a book at school. I got 2 books at home. I'm reading. I got an in the car book. Like it's
She got in the car.
You got a rotation. It's understood.
I do it on a rotation. I'm just trying to do more reading because it informs a lot of my writing, and I use a lot of the summertime to do my writing because I'm off. Because I don't have school and things like that. So try to do a lot of reading during the school year so that during the summer I can kind of synthesize all the things that I've read and get inspired, all those things.
I love what you're bringing to the table. I love that you're a teacher or an educator. You're both. I love that you have this influence on your students that they're asking, like, you know what, this Shakespeare is boring. However, I want to read what you wrote. Like that is if that's not an eye opener to people who feel like they need to underpay teachers. It's like, no, there's a reason why you guys are there. And that is a prime example of what that means to be in that space. Especially for 7th graders, that's a very 7th through 9th. Those are very impressionable ages. Like that moment in time, literally, they don't know who they are yet. They're trying to find their space. They're trying to find their tribe. Their emotions is running high. Their hormones is running wild. The last thing they need is for someone who's of an influence and they're supposed to lead them in the right direction is to deny them.
Correct.
So thank you for that. This, as a matter of fact, once again, I think she's got the most applauses out of anybody.
Thank you. During my real everyday job and stuff, nobody claps. So it's so this is kind of nice.
Oh my God. So before we get out of here, because I know you got to get these kids together and you're like, you don't understand what I'm bringing to the table. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me all over the interwebs. You can find me on Instagram at Breshea Anglen, spelled exactly as it is on screen. You can find me on Twitter at Breshea Anglen, exactly as it is on screen. And you can find me on Facebook at author Breshea Anglen. I will answer you on any of those social media sites if you want to connect, talk about books, talk about anime, all the things. You can find me there.
And let me tell you something. Thank you, number one. It's very rare we get guests on who start promoting, like even before I started promoting it. I was just like, oh, she's ready now. Hold on.
I was like, this is going to be so cool. I want everybody to watch it. It's so cool.
So thank you for coming on. Thank you for that support. It's very much appreciated. And once again, I have to give you this again because it's so well earned and deserved. With that being said, thank you for your service and all the greatness that you're bringing to the table. Thank you for influencing these young Black and brown kids out here who see themselves in your book. Number one, when I say we're coming for all of them, Lord have mercy.
Birdman hands.
Birdman hands.
The bird.
It's like we have been on a roll, like good or bad. We hear them like, oh, we don't like. It's too late.
It's too late. Yes.
Too late.
But thank you guys for inviting me here. This was so much fun. It felt like coming home. So thank you.
Yay.
And that means we did our job.
Oh, wait. Before we move on, for like, myself and others that may be aspiring writers or whatever's, you said Plotter. I think I found that one. What was the other app that you had said?
The other app, Scrivener. Yes. So Plotter you can pay for, like it's like a yearly thing. Scrivener you pay for it once and you have it forever. They'll let you do a free 30-day trial to try it out if you like it. And if you need help like navigating it, you reach out to me because I've been using it for a while. But they have like tutorial videos and stuff like that. But I prefer talking to a human being. But Scrivener and they connect. I mean, it's like magic. It's amazing.
That's what's up. And on that note, Lady Mandalore.
Oh, well, hello. I am Lady Mandalore, also known as Roomful of Blurs on the Instagram, on the Twitters. You can also find me on Fanbase, where I hold a now monthly audio room, chat room at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the first Saturday of every month. I am also on TikTok as Child of Mandalore, which is also the name of my podcast. I have a podcast now that is brand spanking new, which is why I forget about it from time to time, but it is every Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That is live on YouTube and on Twitch. And you can find me on Opulence Radio every Saturday. Yeah,
I do.
I'm doing that.
I watch both.
Hi.
I watch both.
We out here watching my
Definitely.
I watch both.
love Deku.
I think that's it. Oh, yeah. Things.
Things. I like how she said things. Wait, there's things.
So I think I found my thing, my little phrase. I think I gotta tweak it, but here it goes. If we all stopped minding each other's business and come together, we can break this damn algorithm.
I like it.
A little bit. I gotta tweak it, but but the meaning is there. You get what I'm saying, you know what I mean.
I'm with it. I'm for it. I co-sign that.
Thank you. But that's it for me. I'm done.
Oh my goodness. All righty. Black Fox or
Yes.
Black Spartan.
Black Spartan, it is I. Black Spartan, of course. Black Fox 447 is where you can usually find me on all socials. I usually do reviews and everything that I watch, that I play, that I read, gym stuff, because Lord knows I miss the gym, but I am getting back to a shape just because dad life is new and I love it, but I don't love the gut. So aside from that, I do have a couple of podcasts of my own. I do have a daily news podcast called How the Frack We Got Here. That is every Wednesday and Saturday that can be seen on YouTube and Twitch and Facebook. Also can now be on Anchor and Spotify and Apple and Google Podcasts. So expanding a little bit. That's a lot of work though. Expanding. Also, another podcast from my co-host Joe Nello called Get Bit Podcast, which is a video game podcast, which we cover all the news of video games, of anime, of wrestling, and things of that nature. You can also catch us also on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch every Friday. Also, now as of today, we'll actually be on Opulence Radio. So while we will all be joining Roomful of Blurs. Yes. Thank you for watching me this far.
What?
We'll be following Roomful of Blurs and Bird's Eye View on Opulence Radio, so definitely check us out there. I am one of the many heads of Bird's Eye View for the writing writing. Of course, in my case, it is wrestling. Why? Because wrestling is real and people are fake. Shout out to Mr. Kennedy for that one.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, it was actually AEW was actually pretty good yesterday, but that's neither here nor there. You can check out on the site and see what I said.
Yes.
So, aside from that, guys, like I said before, I am all for moving forward that we need to be more unified. We need to share. We need to raise each other up, celebrate each other's wins, be each other's cheerleaders. Support does not always come with a dollar amount. It takes very little to suit anything by word of mouth and by sharing. Support your family the same way you supported Beyonce. I put it that way. Aside from that, look.
I'm picking up what you're putting down. Is all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
But
I seen y'all at that concert.
Yeah, y'all said right out there. Well, I was gonna say support y'all the same way y'all support Taylor Swift because them folks stayed out there in the rain till 2 a.m. to watch this girl perform. That tells you.
I'm sorry.
Not to hear her milquetoast version of September.
They
not milquetoast.
No, I'm talking 2 a.m. in the rain, and it's an outdoor venue, and they're out there. That's a cult. But anyway, but that being said, like I said, I am a very social person. I just simply have one rule: don't be a dick, and we'll all be cool. Also, that shout out to all the teachers and educators, and also to all the mamas. Happy Mother's Day for all mamas, whether you are a mom or about to be a mom or have children, grandchildren have you. Thank you.
Mother figure.
Yeah, mother figures. You know who you are. Aunties are included in that too because y'all are mom figures. Happy Mother's Day. Well, early Mother's Day since it will be Sunday.
Yes.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Cinematic Assassin. Let them know where you at.
It is I, your boy, will be watching the Cinematic Assassin. I continue my social hiatus, but once I return, you can find me at Mayhem Media. That's MAYEHEM Media. That's done on purpose. We got a teacher in the house. It has to do with my last name. It's not.
No.
I spells real good. I promise.
I know. I got here. I understand.
What else? Once you follow me in those places, be it Twitter, be it Instagram, it's all the same handle. You'll find movie reviews, TV reviews, comic reviews, and whatever else is popping in pop culture that I feel like speaking on. YouTube coming soon. My little spoof on CNN. It's called BNN, Black News Now. Nope, Blurred News Now. There we go.
Okay.
Sorry,
Lock it in.
Trademark that.
Listen, they're gonna be mad if I actually get enough views where CNN is mad.
You made it.
I'm there. Just listen.
Who knows? Don Lemon might come and join us. Who knows?
Hey, listen.
Hey,
Don
do a guest segment, Don. Come on through. But as I always, now and forever will continue to stress, mental health matters. You matter and mental health matters. And I'm not just talking about it, I be about it. So take your meds and take that PTO.
Mm-hmm.
Prepare the others.
And whatever you do, lean into learning, lean into laughter, and lean into love. And we all gonna make this world a better place.
There it is.
Well,
hello, everybody, everyone, and everything. Because whatever. This is your man, Chris Fury, the man on the wall, the Papa Bear of the Blurred World, the kid up north, the king of the north, whatever you want to call it, as long as it's in the positive space. I want to thank our guest, Breshea, Anglen, for these amazing conversation. These books, you need to go out and get it. Check her out. Thank you for the team. Always a pleasure. Always fun. Couldn't run this ship without you. But if this is your first time, or you might have missed the last time we've said it, come check us out on IG. Go to IG, Blurred's Eye View, all one word. And you'll find the link tree in the bio. Go check that out as well. And it will point you to places like Blurred's Eye View Podcast on Facebook. It'll also point you to Opulence Radio. Go to opulenceradio.com. Completely free. Download the app and you can hear us past episodes and other dope podcasts and other dope Blurred podcasts as well. As I said earlier, Blerd's Eye View is leading the charge on Blurred Out Thursdays. So come check us out, have some fun. You can also check us out on Twitch, Blerd's Eye View 1. Thinking about doing some different things coming up for the ongoing season. But there's something you might want to tune into for Tuesday. It's what's going on, Tafari. It's something you want to tune into for Tuesday. I'm just saying, it's something you might want to. It's something you might want to check out, because if you were here for Star Wars Day, if you was here for that day, you might get some of this.
Gotta cut it.
That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
Dang, he cut that already?
Yes, that's all you're getting. That's all you're getting.
Baby.
The surprise is Tuesday. I'm dropping my verse. I'll be. It's the remix.
The remix comes out. This
is the remix.
We're gonna have 2/4 of the cages in the building. We're talking about Crazy 8 the Great and Hieroglyphics. They're gonna come in. They're gonna bless us, and we're gonna talk about that new track they just dropped, Obi-Wan. So you don't want to miss that. As a matter of fact, you never want to miss anything we got. I mean, you'd be foolish to miss something. Like you always catch the replay. And you be like, yeah, it's there, but it ain't nothing like being there live.
You could have been talking to us the whole time.
Right, getting all this action, these free movie digital codes and stuff. Oh God, yes. So yeah, you definitely want to check us out Tuesdays 8:30 p.m. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch. Thursdays 9 p.m. Eastern, same channels. But as I do with every show, I want to thank our guest Breshea once again for stopping through. I love what you're doing. I love the work. I love the work you're doing with the kids. It's necessary. It's needed. It's everything. So thank you once again. This door is always open for you. Whenever you have a new project, whenever you want to hang out, whenever the kids get on your nerves, kick your feet up, come in and stop through. We got a pallet.
Get rid of me because y'all too fun. This was too fun.
Listen,
like Lady Mandalore might need some help, so y'all gonna have to call me again.
See,
listen, look, I will take. You'll be my comrade behind the scenes or in front of the scenes. I'll take it.
we love to teach you colorful nails.
Right.
It's just
like it's necessary to have all of that. There we go. Hold on, put that back there. All right, so like I do with every show, remember to educate yourself in others, entertain yourself in others, and most of all, encourage yourself in others. This is Chris Fury with this amazing team, this amazing platform. You know where to find us. Don't play yourself. Come in, stop through. You can always check us out on always press record as well. Let me put that up there as well. You know, I got to get that out there. You know, my man's is always watching. Always press record. You can check us out on Always Press Record TV on Roku and Amazon Fire, which means you can watch us on television too, in your bedroom and in your living room, sometimes your kitchen. According to Trey, who runs Always Press Record, in the bathroom too when you're shaving your head. So okay, whatever works. You can also check out. Go to Otaku Noir. Otaku Noir is the Blerd blind box company. We are a proud affiliate of Blerd of Otaku Noir. Go to checkout, type in Blerd's Eye View. You get free shipping, complete free shipping. Check that out. You want to get their latest box before it's too late.
Free shipping is crucial.
You gonna want that box?
I already got the link open. Listen, that's all you had to say. Listen,
I mean,
there it is. Shoot you over the link, that campaign link for us. Show your love. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. Support. It's free. It's free. Like I just said, you get free shipping, so it's free. But once again, I want to thank our guests. I want to thank the team. Couldn't do this without you. I'm no Malcolm Reynolds without the rest of the squad. Let's put it that way. There it is. I'm no Han Solo without the rest of the squad. I'm no Cisco without the rest of the squad. There it is. I could keep it going. That just shows how deep the Blerd well runs. But we're gonna get out of here until you catch us next time, or even catch us in the past. Have a nice night.
Bye.